Hey everyone, it's Michael and
Ruben
from Bullion Now, bullionnow.com.au, bringing you, proudly sponsoring,
Friday.
very relieved that we've made it to Friday. So, oh dear man, it's been another chaotic week, which has been great. But we are missing our sidekick. He's not here. So he's something about mother's birthday or something. He's taken the Friday off and he's kicking back, relaxing, and it wouldn't shock me.
He is hiding in chat.
Yeah, if he doesn't appear in chat somewhere. So, yeah, it's been a full on week, one way or another. Don't you reckon, Rubes?
It has. I think I've called this one something about the spot speculation week, and it's kind of been an interesting one because we've seen some bit of a pullback, and we're seeing people kind of approach what's happening in very different ways. As price was running up, we were mostly seeing people just buy, but this week when things have dropped back a little bit, we're seeing kind of a very big split between the two, where some people are going, hey, great chance to pick up something on sale effectively, and pick it up midway through, and other people just straight up not buying, and that's it. Comparatively to how it has been quieter. We are still catching up on emails and a few other things. So yeah, again, apologies if we haven't caught up to some of that. But in as far as the numbers through the store, it has been a little bit quieter this week.
I disagree. I think it's been just as chaotic.
We haven't had the elevator bay completely full as much this week.
That is true.
That's what I'm comparing it to here.
We've still had 7 or 8 people on the counter going flat out and not taking a break. Although we actually got lunch breaks today.
I think that's what I'm basing it on. The fact I've eaten lunch, it's quieter. So,
well, some of us got lunch breaks. Even Brett went out and had lunch, which is a bit of a rarity. He doesn't tend to move from behind his spot on the counter, but he decided he wanted to get some fresh air, so that was good to see. It's still chaos, and I think you're right. The pullback in spot has caused it's been fascinating to watch this time round, and I think it's an indication of the market because we've seen a lot of heat in the market, particularly a lot of retail heat in the market. I wish you were correct. Unfortunately, I'm not getting any skinnier. I'm holding where I am. We're seeing a lot of the retail. We've seen a lot of retail come into the market. When the price pulled back, we saw retail panic, which I thought was. The way it played out, I was a little disappointed. I think overall, but I thought it was interesting, and I think it's a sign of what's going forward, because it shook a lot of the retail people out, and I got to. If I'd had chance, and I got caught up in the store, and that's why we're running late, so I apologise for that, but I got an email this week. I'm going to see, I don't even know how to find it quickly, and it really epitomised the retail speculator, I would say. So it was, to paraphrase it, because I can't remember word for word, but it was basically, I'm Bullion Now, I'm devastated, I've bought unallocated, I'm selling it all because I've lost money. I've lost huge amounts of money or something. Dumped the lot. I'll never touch precious metals ever again. And when I looked into it, he'd bought silver and a little bit of gold in our unallocated program about 10, 14 days earlier. And it obviously, it had pulled back, so he'd panicked and dumped it. And it's just that last line of "I'll never touch precious metals again." It's what I really don't like about these sudden movements and this whipsawing, is because people don't get the true meaning of precious metals and why you buy them. You don't buy them for that rapid movement. You don't buy them because they're going to be dearer tomorrow. You don't. That's not precious metals. If you look over the chart over the last 5,000 years, it's gone up and it's come down. It's gone up and it's come down. This pullback was I would argue was past date, but was certainly due to occur. Buying it with the expectation that, it's the bigger sucker theory. I'll buy it today because someone's going to pay more for it tomorrow. That's not what you do with precious metals. It's you hold it for the longer term. And guys like this get caught up in the froth and bubble, and it really devastates me, because we've lost that person out of what would be a very good investment for him or her for the rest of their life. that person is now going around saying to everyone, "Oh, don't touch precious metals. You just lose money. They go up and they rip down, and they just don't touch them." And so, not only have we lost that person, but it flows further on into the food chain, and I think that person's going to be disappointed in the months that are coming, because if you look at all the stats and data, and don't believe me on this, do some of your own research, but Adam and I were talking about this morning. So Adam's our stock controller, where we have seen a lot of people, a lot of retail investors dump stock. Kilo of silver here, a few ounces of gold there, but it's been at those lower levels, and that's across the whole market. We haven't seen any of our larger investors sell anything. In fact, they've been buying. If you look as I talk to other bullion dealers, they're seeing the same thing. If you look in the media, none of the large buyers, so the investment funds, superannuation funds, those type of guys that buy larger amounts of gold and silver and precious metals, whether they be in physical form or ETFs, those types of things, none of them are unloading. None of them are talking about unloading. If you look on the shareholder lists in the larger mining company, or any of the mining companies really, any of the large investment companies that hold shares of greater than 5% have to notify the stock exchange when they change their holding at all. There's been, I'm going to say none, there's probably been one or two here and there, but effectively there's been no changes in any of the larger shareholdings in any of the miners or the producers or the explorers. So the big money is holding firm. It's only this retail froth and bubble that is actually, I would argue, and again, this is the ramblings of a guy with grey hair on the internet. You've got to do your own research on this. But I would argue it's that froth and bubble that's coming out of the market that's causing this correction. And then I believe, this is my own personal belief, this is certainly not a recommendation, and you've also got to remember, I sell precious metals, so I've got a vested interest in this statement. I believe that over the coming months, we're going to see it push higher. So it's been interesting. Quite often we see people pull out of the market when it goes down. We joke in the office about how people buy high and sell low. But it's usually more across the board. And I don't know if Ruben agrees with me, and I'll let him get a word in edgeways in a minute. But I personally, from what I'm seeing and the study and research I'm doing, it's that smaller end of the market that is panicking. It's not the larger end of the market at all.
I definitely agree. I am a little saddened, similar to you in a way, that we haven't been able to, we have been so busy that we haven't necessarily been able to jump on the education like we have previously, because I think in more recent history, something like COVID is a very similar example where obviously there was a lot of panic worldwide at the time, but there was a lot of new people coming into quite a busy and hot market. But we were actually able to put out some content, put out some education, and kind of smooth that landing just a little bit. And people were coming into this market and going, "Hey, what's going on? What is this?" And we had some stuff there to kind of say, "Hey, don't panic. This is how to buy gold. This is, look at bars of coins, some of this kind of basic stuff." And so my worry is with some of these new people coming in at the very busy time is that they are coming in a little bit blind. And yeah, like you said, not necessarily being fully aware of what's the type of investment they're getting into, the fact that it is a long-term investment, and the quick flip really doesn't suit it too well.
No, the trouble is you get onto the news or a lot of the media, and as much as I love the fact that the mainstream media is actually starting to pay attention to precious metals, the coverage, Aussie Girl's right on spot on there. The media coverage was very dramatic.
Yes.
And it was. They were showing these big queues and, it's going up and it's doing this and it's doing that and it's, gone up 60 or whatever it is % this year, and it's the biggest investment or the best investment this year, and all this sort of stuff that you really don't want to see going up there. So it's no wonder people that aren't in the industry, people that aren't investing in precious metals, it's no wonder that they get this, part of the hype. And it
FOMO really is the best way to describe it in a lot of ways.
And it's just it breaks my heart when I get messages, emails like that, because this I believe I firmly believe this should be the cornerstone of any investment, any investment that anyone has. I'm not saying go all in gold or all in silver or any of that, but a component of your investing pot should go into precious metals to provide that stability and to provide that counter-cyclical movement. Yes, it's not exact, but over time, you watch those fluctuations, and as a rule, when things get ugly, gold and silver to a degree, but certainly gold finds its feet and pulls through. When things are, all sunshine and roses, you may find that gold doesn't quite go as well, that your shares might or your property might, those types of things. Unfortunately, now there's going to be a component of people that have lost that cornerstone of their investment future, and that really saddens me.
We got Simbunji back in chat. Been a while since
hey.
stopped by.
Yes, g'day Simbunji.
Neil's comment there, interesting. Yeah, the media filming queues was just flat out wrong. Those are people queuing for valuable assets, and those clowns are outing them on national TV.
The
line being where it is just out in public on the street. Yeah, the whole filming in public is okay. It does make me a little squeamish knowing what those people will have either been purchasing or selling. It's kind of like, come on, guys.
we actually had the media in. I don't know if we spoke about it earlier, but we actually had the media in. It was last Friday, wasn't it?
We did speak about it, and we said for people to keep an eye out on Wednesday night.
Yeah, they didn't.
And you were replaced by
Kamala Harris, or however you pronounce her name. So obviously she's making a run against for the next presidency, but somehow they believe that Kamala Harris is more important than precious metals or bullion now, which I find a real struggle. But we'll get over that. But yeah, when they were over, I was expressing my frustration and disgust that the media had been showing all these cues. And the person on the other side of the counter, the journalist, got a little bit, not uppity, that's the wrong word, but a little bit, no, hang on a sec, we're showing the news and, this is what's happening. I'm going, yeah, but what you've just done is you've shown the face of people that are lining up to buy precious metals. And you've got people watching the media going, actually, I recognise that face. I know which fence I'm going to be jumping tonight and going, ferreting around their backyard and into their house. You're not understanding that these people, and a lot of these people that were in the queue were also just as gullible because they were quite happily talking to the cameras. So it was the blind leading the blind, and it's not a good scenario. So that one really made me cranky, that one.
I did have to laugh. There was a comment made about, let me just ask for permission to talk to some of your customers. And our customers in the store at the time were like, no.
That's right.
And he said something to me, I don't know if you heard it, he said something to me basically about, it's about how you ask. Basically, you hadn't asked correctly. You got to be a little bit more tactful. So we went outside separate to anyone who heard the question. He's like, hi, this is me. I'm from the ABC. Are we able to interview you? And they, again, nope.
Yes.
So the BN customer, I think, a little bit more discerning, or actually given the choice, I think is what it comes down to compared to the people in the line.
Yeah, I had to laugh because one of them turned around to him and said, I'll tell you what I think of the ABC, but I'm not going to be recorded.
Not on camera.
Yeah, I don't think he knew how to take that one. So I thought that one was a bit of a laugh. But unfortunately, we didn't make the mainstream media this Wednesday, so hopefully they will still show it. But I actually wonder if they're not kind of pulling back like a lot of the retail investors going, the steam's gone out of the market, we won't show it now. So I don't know. It'd be a shame if they did, because I'm hoping it was... You never know how they cut and paste these things, but I'm desperately hoping we brought some balance to the discussion. So, yeah.
Well, I'd be interested to see, because I also filmed it. So if it never actually airs, we do actually have some content that we might be able to put together for it. So we'll wait and see what happens, but there is something. There's a few people asking about the Legendary Warriors that we put up this week, the Miyamoto Musashis. I'm
not even going to pretend to pronounce that one. Beautiful coin.
And asking if we're able to get any more, or what the go was with them.
My answer is no. Unfortunately, everyone's got onto the idea of these Legendary Warriors, that they're actually a very, very reasonably priced coin. round or coin? No, they are a coin,
They're
aren't
a
they?
round.
Oh, they're a round, are they?
Yes.
Yeah, so a reasonably priced round, and the quality on them is huge. Like, it's just fantastic. The detail, we keep joking about how we keep going, oh wow, look at the detail on this, because they are incredible. And so we weren't able to get hold of as many as we'd hoped to get, and we listed them on the web, and they disappeared super quick. I was quite shocked at how. I thought the ads was having me on when he said no, they're sold. I said no, come on, mate. There's still more. You know, like
What about
we can list more.
stash?
Yeah, like where is it? And he's going, no, they're all gone. I'm going, oh, it's like seriously gone. Yes, they're seriously gone. Oh, okay. So yeah, I wasn't happy about that. So I didn't even get one. So I'm looking for one for my collection, but it'll turn up eventually.
A couple of questions there. A few commenting about emails. Still can't get my items out of storage. Been trying for over 2 weeks.
I am still. Let me tell you right now.
Give a current count.
I'll give you a current count right at this second. I have. Wish I hadn't done that. I have 800. We have 818 unread emails as we stand right now. I'm going to donate my weekend to the cause. I will get through several hundred of them this weekend, but
It's a bit of a hydra head. You knock over 100, 200, and yeah.
I actually really like doing them at like 2 and 3 in the morning, because when I do them during the day, people realise I'm online answering questions, and so I'll send one out and I'll go, oh, well, I've got you, you know, and I'll get 3 or 4 responses back. Whereas at 2 and 3 in the morning, most intelligent people are fast asleep, so I get left alone to just bounce back and forward on it, which is much better. Well, much better for me.
Shout out there for Sylvia. Someone just got off a phone call with her, and she helped out.
Yeah, look, the guys, Sylvia and Sean, who are our main people on the phones, they're doing an amazing job considering the pressure they're under.
100%.
You know, they're like kind of what I was saying with the emails. You know, they take one call and then they realise they've missed 3 while they've been on that one call, and both of them have been incredibly diligent about, you know, anyone that's left a message, they will actually call them back, and usually they get back to them in the day. Sometimes it rolls into the next day, but I've been incredibly impressed with those two. They've done an amazing job on the phones.
People are also after an update on the Platinum Horse.
Yeah, I promised Rubes that I would have that done before we came onto live stream, and here we are without me having it done. So another thing I will try and nail down this long weekend.
Yes, that is the other thing. For those that aren't aware, we will be shut on Tuesday next week.
I believe so.
Yes, it's the Melbourne Cup public holiday.
Pretty sad when I don't know our operating times.
But we will be open on the Monday and Saturday. So yeah, the Saturday and the Monday.
And the Wednesday and Thursday and Friday in between. Just not the Tuesday. That's the only one we're taking off.
That's it. Is Alexander the Great sold out?
If it's not, we're down to the crumbs. I'll be surprised if we've got any, but there might be a couple of coins kicking around.
What is the difference between a round and a coin?
A coin is a government, careful when I say issued, government issued product. So if you look on the back of a Perth Mint kangaroo, you'll see it's got Australia written on it. It's got the king at the moment. It used to have the queen, and it'll have a value. So the kangaroo is valued has a face value of $1. So it is legal tender currency for our country. So yes, in theory, you could take your 1 ounce silver kangaroo down to the milk bar and buy yourself a litre of milk. No one in their right mind would actually do that, but you know you can actually do it. So it's a legal tender coin from one of the various countries. Now the reason I hesitated before was a lot of countries, some of the smaller countries rent out their country to put on different coins. So even though it may say Tuvalu on it, that doesn't mean it's actually produced there. It's probably produced in the States or in Australia or somewhere like that. And one of the mints is renting out that, like leasing that country's okay to put it on as a coin on the back of their round. A round is not a legal tender anywhere. It's just a production that you or I have produced somewhere and put it out there. So The Warriors, they're produced by
Silvertown
in the States, so they'll just have their production lines just making those rounds for them to release into the market.
Doesn't mean they're a hack job. There is still a lot of standards and requirements that places around the world will still have to meet, but the requirements are less than that of a coin.
Very much so, because coins obviously bring a lot of government oversight. They're only allowed to issue so many in a year. They have to be correct, all sorts of things, and they're checked and verified multiple times. So, yeah, they're considered to be of a better quality, if you like, as a rule. Doesn't mean rounds are bad; just means they're different.
Wonka bars we're going to circle back to in a little bit later. Do we accept $1 pamps?
We'll buy back $1 pamps. I bought back a $10 the other day. Causes a bit of head scratching behind the counter because we've got to remember what a
$1 is.
3 point. No, I can't remember.
We will look it up.
Yeah, I have to look it up every time.
They uneaten choc sultanas behind Michael. I think they are. But
Seriously?
They've been there so long that I don't think they're worth breaking out of that.
Yes, they are. They're choc sultanas. There's absolutely nothing wrong with them. There is no use-by date on a choc sultana.
Did Perth Mint get over you forgetting to pay their bill last Friday? I note you no longer have any kilo Perth Mint silver bars.
Yeah, there was a few people that weren't impressed about last Friday. And speaking of which, I might just sneakily make sure I've cleared all payments before we go too much further.
Probably a good thing. Will we be able to get any more of the previously released Warriors? I don't believe so.
We did actually bring a few in.
Oh, okay.
There are no authorisations. We're safe. We did bring a few in and topped up, but we can only get like a couple of hundred of some of them. So if they're on the web, we've got them. If they're not on the web, unless you're coming into store, we've sold out. If you're coming in store, just ask the question. You never know what's hiding out the back.
Ordered a kilo silver Perth Mint bar on the 28th of September. Do you know when it will be available?
Yeah, believe it or not, we took delivery of about 2 ton earlier this week from Perth. That's pretty much all gone to fill orders. There is still a little bit left, and I know the guys are still filling orders. We have another 2 ton arriving very early next week, Monday, Tuesday next week, and that will go on. So I'd be fairly confident in saying your order will be filled by the end of next week at the latest.
Can we show the new 100-gram cast bar from Perth Mint? I don't have one on hand.
Have you done an unboxing on them while I wasn't around? No. Okay. We need to do the unboxing.
We've done one unboxing in like a month. That was the Warriors with Alex and I this week.
Yeah.
So that's it. That was a rare. That was the other metric I was using for saying it's quieting down a little bit because we got an unboxing out.
Yeah. So Perth Mint have just started producing the 100-gram cast bar, which is the first time they've done that in gold. They've had the 100-gram minted for quite a while, but the 100-gram casty is a new one for them. They don't do the 2.5 ounce anymore, but they've brought back the 5 ounce and the 10 ounce gold. And they look, the 5 ounce gold has always been my favourite bar. It looks like a little loaf of bread. So I'm stoked they've brought that back. It looks fantastic. But they've got the 100 gram, the 5 ounce, and the 10 ounce. The 100 grammers we've received. I think we're still waiting on a delivery of 5s and 10 ounce gold bars.
Between a loaf of bread and the lettuce leaves, you've got the makings of a sandwich starting.
You've got to look at my size. I'm always looking at thinking about food, mate.
That wasn't where I was going with that. Any buyback silver laying around that could go on the website? There has not been that much.
You're a funny person.
There has been more sellbacks actually since the drop-off in price, but they are quickly snapped up by the people that are buying the dip, and they are going straight back out, and my tubs have been empty.
Oh, somebody said to me, I think it was you, wasn't it, Rubes? Oh, we're out of buyback 1 ounce silver.
Silvers, yeah.
We never run out of 1 ounce silver. We've always got at least, some crumbs lying around, but usually we've got a healthy tub full. Not a single skerrick. There's nothing there. It's just all gone. And that was this morning you said that to me, and I don't think I've seen the tub refilled between.
Yeah, no, I don't think so.
So that's craziness. There's no kilos. The kilos are coming and going like faster than you would believe. The buybacks that we're getting in kilos, no one's bringing in 50 and 100 and 150 like they used to. We're getting 2. And I think the biggest buyback I've seen this week's like 5 kilos, which is... like, it's unheard of. It's never like that. These are the kind of indications that I'm saying that it's only the small retail guys that are getting out. Anyone is holding on and going. Quite often, I'm taking this opportunity to top up a little bit. We're not seeing any serious numbers come in buybacks at this point. So I don't know. Take that as you want to. Yeah.
We're getting the Lokis from the Royal Mint.
Yes.
Awesome. Just to clarify, Royal Mint, not Germania, or are they a joint release?
No, it's a joint release still.
Another joint one.
Yeah.
I ordered some silver and placed in the notes I wanted to use my credit. I'm guessing I know. Oh, no. I think this one might actually be a credit. I think I saw this one come through. Concerned it's been a week, so I just don't want my order to be cancelled. Just wanted to let you guys know. If it's in the notes, we should be checking those before cancelling anything out. So that is just us needing to catch up kind of situation, I think.
I usually approve cancellations. I haven't had a chance to scratch myself. So I haven't approved any cancellations at this point. So it's another one of my jobs for the weekend. I will endeavour to get to you to make sure I don't cancel yours. If you've put it in the notes, the invoice will come up and I'll see the notes on there. If you've just sent it in an email, if I do accidentally cancel it or allow it to be cancelled, just send in a message to us and I'll change it back.
Only exception to coin definition is the Libertad. Has no denomination, like a dollar value, but is still issued by the Mexican Mint.
Yeah, they don't necessarily have to have a dollar value. The sovereign in Australia, that doesn't. It's worth one sovereign. It's not worth $1 or $10 or whatever. It's one sovereign. So some of them are actually in a non-standard currency, for want of a better term.
Did they give it an equivalent value in the Currency Act, though?
They did.
Yeah, okay.
But traditionally, like if you go back before the Currency Act, all the Currency Act was actually doing was giving a conversion over into decimal.
Yeah.
So everyone kind of knew what compared to what. And I think, was it one... It was equivalent to $2 or $1.
It's something laughable like that.
Yeah, it was a ridiculous amount, whatever it was. So, so that's in there. But yes, there are some sovereign currency. There's some out there that aren't like just dollars or euros or whatever.
Is there a point where Perth Mint will cut us off on kilo bars? I keep thinking when you run out, it might be the last lot for a while, but they keep going.
So, sorry, I was reading Kane's comment, which I'm going to come back to. Ask the question again.
Is there a point where Perth Mint are going to cut us off from silver kilo bars?
They've done that many times. Right now, I've got a phone call, or I'm about to make a phone call as soon as I get off here to one of our contacts over at Perth to beg to be allowed to put in an order for kilo bars. Because at the moment, they've said, everyone hold fire. We want to catch up on our production before we allow any more back orders. So... yeah, Perth Mint frequently, when you get under the pump like this, will turn around and say, no more ordering of whatever. You've got to hold fire, which is why we try and keep, it's why we've got a lot of contacts throughout the industry, and we try and make sure we've got multiple sources of, in this example, kilo bars of silver. So if Perth Mint, in this example, says halt, then we've got, Germania or PAMP or... or locals or, whatever else to make sure we've got the flow of kilo bars still coming in. I want to pick up on Kane's comment there. Mexican Mint, 500th anniversary next year, oldest continuous operating mint in the world. I actually don't know if that's actually correct. You might be, mate. But I know when we went to the Austrian Mint, they had been operating since 1100 and something. So... yeah, I don't know if they are the oldest continuously operating mint in the world. I don't know that they're not, but I don't know that they are.
Continually operating, they might have had a close down for 10 years or something.
Not that I'm aware of.
They took a day off.
They've got a fantastic history. We really need to touch on it because that whole mint came about because they kidnapped King Richard on his way back from the Crusades, held him ransom, and that's why the... Sheriff of Nottingham was racing around trying to steal everyone's silver, was to try and get him back. And then when all this silver arrived in boats, silver and gold, it turned up in, candlesticks and plates and platters and all that sort of stuff. So they kind of went, oh, crap, what do we do now with all of this? So hence the Austrian Mint was born.
I've clarified there. It's in the Americas. Is the oldest in the Americas.
Oh, that's that I'd believe.
Yeah,
absolutely.
There is a bunch of questions I've fallen behind on, so I am going to move down and keep moving forward. So if we've missed it, feel free to ask it again, or we will hit them at the end. We'll make sure we get everything answered. Someone asked our thoughts on the new kangaroo design, and I wanted to get people in chat's thoughts as well. This is the 2026 Gold Kangaroo that has been released by Perth Mint. And is up on pre-order on our website now, but we haven't actually physically got them yet. But 40 years of the kangaroo.
I actually quite like this one. I'm not big on the 40. That's the one part that I think, don't know about it, just stamped there. It kind of looks a bit, I don't know. But I actually like the design. I think it's pretty cool.
Yeah. Someone says crop circles there. I like the water effect, the splashing.
I would have gone with the crop circles, except for the one in the background there. You've kind of got the splash happening of the water.
Well, even the front one.
Oh yeah, I actually hadn't noticed that kind of leftover splash as he's hopping off. I actually really this is a new take. Like quite often you get sceneries in the background. You know, you'll get a desert scene or a mountain scene or that sort of thing. I think it's the first time they've ever done any of their designs, and I would argue it's possibly one of the first in the world where they've kind of done this water effect of bouncing through the water. I think it's a fantastic idea.
Yeah, no, good job, Perth. What's the main reason why you don't offer storage, big or small, meaning as a permanent type, storage thing? Is it insurance costing heaps, or is it annoying to set up?
We are a bullion store that offers storage to our customer base. We are not a storage facility that does bullion on the side. So we focus on supplying bullion, and we offer storage as a service to our customers. And at this point, we might change it in the future, I don't know. But at this point, storage is not a priority for us. We could absolutely spool out storage and do it on a larger scale and all those types of things, but I've got 818 emails to get through first. We are flat out trying to provide the level of service that we want to in the bullion industry
of the things that we're currently offering, let alone
without taking on those extras. Doesn't mean we'll never do it, but at the moment I'd like to just get our service levels back to where they should be.
Have we got an order coming in for some gold Libertads? I saw someone asking about 120th.
Were you asking me if we have, or are you telling me we do have?
I'm asking. People are asking if we can get either 120ths and 1 ounce gold Libertads.
We can certainly get them. I don't believe there's an order in the system for them at this point, but it's certainly something we should chase up. Libertads are always a bit pricey. So be aware that if we do bring them in, when we release their price, no, we are not price gouging. That is purely the premium that is being charged on these things.
Someone said earlier, I think before stream kicked off, that the Libertad Silvers are actually now getting fairly well priced compared to some of the other jump ups in premium on other things. It's actually not so far afield from what it was.
I would almost guarantee that they're old stock. They're not the new ones coming out.
No. I'm talking about the ones we've had sitting up there for a bit.
Oh, you mean our ones?
Yes.
Yeah, okay, yeah. Yeah, look, they are. We haven't ramped them up or anything along those sort of lines. When we brought those ones in, that was during or at the tail end of COVID, and it was
2022, I think.
It was a little bit. It was me trying to prove a point that actually
it was an expensive point.
Yeah, well, I mean, people were saying, we'll definitely get them. Like you're being ridiculous. And then when we brought them in, everyone passed out at the premium we were charging, but that's the premium of them. Like Libertads are inexpensive. They're a beautiful coin, but they're certainly an expensive coin.
Oh, they changed design next year apparently.
Oh, good.
Interesting to see that. I'm just quickly seeing if they've got any images up for that.
We're not getting Renium in. I'm having a hard enough time dealing with the 5 I have to deal with.
Yeah. There was a question there about Krugerrands. Do you guys pay spot for Krugerrands, or is it less because it's impure?
Correct. Because of the impurity on it, we actually pay less on those, and I believe it's 95% of spot, including GST, which as a retail customer makes no difference to you at all. You walk away with the same amount. But if it's a business selling back to us, then they've got to declare the GST, so it does make a difference in that case.
What do you think will be the next big catalyst for the price boom?
I don't think we need another catalyst. I think
We're in the middle of one, I think.
I think we're in it.
Yeah.
We're just seeing and I want to emphasise this, a healthy pullback in the price. You're not going to see anything just charge up day after day after day after day after day. It will eventually take a break and it'll ease back. And we've been calling this for a while, that it should have eased back. And put it in perspective here, it eased back 10%, less than 10%, I think, but around about that 10% over a couple of days. That's not a big pullback. You know, the stock market, they don't consider it a correction, I think, until it gets close to 20%. You know, like this isn't Robinson Crusoe, and it's the first time this has ever happened. This is a natural, healthy, I would argue, and again, this is not financial advice, the ramblings of an old guy on the internet. This is just a healthy pullback. And we saw last night, spot price jumped another $162. Actually, I want to walk this back a little bit. Part of that correction is, and that's right, 20% is a correction. Part of that pullback, for want of a better term, was actually the currency playing around. Let me get this the right way around. The US dollar weakened, the Australian dollar strengthened, because all of a sudden we realised that we're probably not going to get interest rate cuts in Australia, while they are still going to get them in the US, so the Australian dollar strengthened. So not all of that pullback was actual pullback of the metal. A good chunk of it was actually pullback of the currency. So, you know, like you've got to put it in perspective. Again, we jumped up $162 Australian last night, and I will agree, not all of that was gold. Some of that was actually spot price movement, but we're up $160 an ounce in gold. The really interesting thing, and I think the test for it will be to see what happens tonight on the overseas market, Australian time. Obviously, we have a lot of overseas viewers, so it'll be live time for them during the day. But Australian time, what happens overnight? Because if the price stays where it is, or even increases, particularly if it increases $50 Australian or more, I would say the pullback is finished and we're on our charge back up. I'm not confident enough to call that yet, and particularly I think throughout the day, I think it's eased back about $30 when I last checked. But I hate putting numbers on these things. I really, really hate putting numbers on these things. But it wouldn't shock me to see us up, getting closer to $7,000 Australian by the end of the year. 68, 69. Somewhere in there, it wouldn't shock me. I'm not saying it's going there. Please don't read in and start saying, "Oh, Michael said we're going to $7,000 by next week." That's not what I'm saying. But I honestly, at this point, I believe, and as Ruben's put up there, this isn't financial advice. This is only my belief currently. I believe that this is a pullback that we're going to push through fairly quickly, and we're going to start see it going up again. Again, you've got to remember, I'm a bullion dealer. I'm trying to sell you gold and silver. So take anything that I say with a massive bucket of salt. This is only what I believe. So do your own research at this point.
When are you expecting the latest Tudor Beasts? And can I pre-order? Or should I buy elsewhere? No, can't have that. Are we getting the next in the Tudor Beast?
We are. I can't tell you when it's arriving. A lot of these things, the mints are struggling to produce things at the moment because of the demand. But it's not just the mints that are struggling. The logistics, so the couriers and the shipping agents and all that sort of stuff, they're all struggling under the load of everything. We're running into Christmas where there's all these sorts of things that are happening. Even down to, believe it or not, Armaguard went on strike last Friday and Monday.
Again.
That caused all sorts of chaos. There's all these sorts of things that are slowing the whole process down at the moment. Everything's working against the system. So, I don't know where they are. I don't know when we'll get them, but I can tell you we will get them.
Knockout Rat is asking about Germania Mint 5-ounce silver bars, but I think they asked before about just in general 5 and 10-ounce bars.
It's a lightning rod for us at the moment, that 5-10-ounce range. We just don't seem to be able to get them in consistently. So even the locals we don't have at the moment, which is really unusual. But yeah, it's a real struggle, that one. Doesn't help that Perth Mint doesn't produce a 5 or a 10-ounce bar. So we've reduced our local sources quite a bit. But yeah, it's a funny spot that no one's kind of producing at the moment.
said it before, I'll say it again. I think Perth Mint really need to fill that size. As price gets higher, it is the kilo gets further out of reach when you can get them. The kilo gets further and further out of reach for a lot of people just starting out into precious metals. And yeah, I think there's a real market for something in that size that isn't coins.
Yeah. It absolutely is. Stand by on that one. Perth's. I don't work for Perth. I can't announce anything for Perth, but stand by early in the new year. You may see something change in that area.
Pretty sure I heard you say that a year ago.
Yeah, you're probably not wrong.
I'll wait and see. At what point will the gold to silver ratio be attractive enough to convert silver to gold? I'm more of a long-term holder, but would prefer gold to silver long-term.
My trigger point is around that 60 mark. I wouldn't expect to see it there in a hurry. I think you're going to see gold keep pushing hard.
Asking about the quarter ounce year of the horse. That's one of those ones we're waiting for on pre-order. I think also the half ounce as well. So do we know where some of the fractional gold horses are up to?
They're on a truck on their way over here at the moment. We're waiting for the next Armaguard delivery. I think we're waiting on 2 turning up. So they're on their way. Currently, I think we only have 1/10 and 1 ounce gold horses in. We don't have anything of the other sizes right at this minute. But yeah, rest assured they are coming in and they should be here next week.
Is the Death Star you have in the shop for sale?
Oh, it's in the shop at the moment. I thought it was in the background somewhere. I was actually looking for it before.
No, we put it up for the ABC.
It is absolutely, definitely, 100% not for sale currently.
I'm going to be hitting up first dibs on that one if you end up putting it up, I think.
As most people know, I'm a little bit of a Star Wars buff. And one of our good customers actually brought that in for us. So it will stay as part of the Bullion Now family.
How to get physical platinum bars in 500 grams?
Just ask us. We can get them in.
Can we? Because this was going to be my follow-up talking point is we've said fairly recently that it's just pretty much Perth Mint that are producing physical platinum.
You're right. I might have to twist a few arms for that one. Look, I can get them in. The bigger challenge is going to be getting them in at a reasonable premium. Look, if you're serious, I'll poke around and see what we can find.
Yeah. I've purchased a 10-ounce silver Perth bar. Do they not make them anymore? They don't. How long has it been?
Oh, they did a burst about 3 or 4 years ago for, I don't know, a month where they had them, but they haven't produced them since before COVID.
Same with the 100-ounce silver bars as well. A similar thing. They did a burst probably 3 or 4 years ago. Haven't seen them new out of there since. But yeah, very cool. There is a lot of them out there, so it's not yet too rare, but they are still a very sought after size. Any new stock coming in? Well, I was hoping to have had something dropped off, but I haven't.
There is heaps of new stock coming in. One of the things that's upsetting Ruben no end, because I'm making him work in the shop, is the fact that we're not able to highlight all these things coming in. So, yeah, there's heaps coming in. So keep an eye on the website because sometimes they're just getting listed straight up there. Some of them we're holding back. There's heaps of things come in. We've actually got one that we're going to hopefully highlight at some stage through this live stream, even though it's not hit our website yet. I was very excited about it arriving, so we're going to do that. Yeah, there's heaps of things. It makes me, in a lot of ways, it makes me smile. In some ways, it makes me a little bit crusty. But, you know, you read these dramatic announcements on particularly YouTube. But what do you call them? Clickbait. You see these clickbaits, you know, there's no more silver left anywhere. There's no more this. There's no more that. You know, such and such has run out of gold. Such and such has run out of silver. And, like, I was reading one of those. It came up as an alert on my phone as Armaguard were backing into our facility and we unloaded 3 ton of silver. And I'm thinking, I'm not seeing the sign that they've run out. I'm absolutely seeing signs that their production limited, you know, because there is only so many widgets you can produce in a day, as I keep saying. But as far as silver goes or gold goes, there's no shortage of it. Yeah, you might have to pay more for it, and you'll notice that our prices and pretty much everyone else's prices are going up because a lot of the leasing costs have gone up through the roof. So lots and lots and lots and lots of things. Lots of mints and refineries have increased their price 2 and 3 times. Perth Mint, who have been holding out as the star, they've only increased their pricing on a few items, and they've only done it once. They hit us again this week with another price increase. So even Perth Mint's having to increase prices. So it's across the board now. You're seeing those prices go up. But as far as availability of physical silver goes, we're not having an issue. If you want a kilo of silver, absolutely, we've got it. If you want a Perth Mint kilo silver or a Germania Mint kilo silver or a specific type, that's where we struggle a bit.
I think people, I'm going to beat the comments to it. I think people are going to counter with the fact that, if they go to, I think maybe at the moment we might have some Perth Mints up there for sale, but there has been quite a few times lately where we will not have something of any brand up on the website. And I think that's almost what I would say about the entire thing. Is very similar to what we were talking about before with a lot of new people coming into it. I think those that have weathered the storm before, they've seen the roller coaster, they've seen the process, can sit there and go, oh, it's okay. Things will come back into stock. If I can't see a physical bar that I want up there, I'll grab it in unallocated or just hold off or, something like that. But that's it. It's the new people coming into it that are going, I need this now.
Yeah.
And I can't get it. Therefore, there's a supply problem. There's issues. And I think that's where a lot of it's coming from, is the potentially inexperienced coming and freaking out that they can't grab a hold of it then and there.
Yeah, look, you'd be lying if you said there's not a supply issue. So, as I said, there's that production issue, how many widgets you can produce in a day. There's also the delivery, courier network issue. They're struggling under the number they can deliver. There's insurance issues. To pick on Perth Mint, and it's unfair, but they're the easy example because they're local. They can only dispatch so much per day total, because of their insurance, and they can only dispatch so many bags or whatever it is of product to an individual company. So they might say, we might have 50 bags of gold on order. So each bag's 120,000, I think it is, or $130,000 worth. So, we might have 50 or 60 bags in the queue, but they can only ship us 2 to 3 a day. Their insurance won't allow them to ship any more. So there's that limitation as well, that we can only get so many released out of Perth at a time. So it's not that they've run out of the physical product, it's actually just getting it out there, producing it and getting it out there that's the issue. So, yeah, it is what it is. We will catch up eventually.
We've got Smithy's Bullion joining us as well.
Hey, I haven't chatted to Smithy for a long time. I was actually thinking about you on the drive in this morning, mate.
Any further?
Oh no, it's just we actually need to get you to produce some stuff for us again. We haven't done it for ages, so yeah.
Has Bullion Now entirely run out of the Germania runes?
Pass. I don't know. I'd have to go and look that one up. I know there's still some in the vault. I just don't know if they're committed yet and haven't been picked, or if they're available. I'll check it out.
Had a conversation years ago with a Perth Mint exec. He basically said they can always get silver. It's just a matter of the logistics of actually getting it to the mint and manufacturing it.
It is. It is. It's a logistics issue. It absolutely is. Somebody made a comment about SD Bullion saying the leasing rates have come off now. They're back to where they were. It wouldn't shock me in the States because they were drowning in silver over there. It wouldn't shock me, but I've certainly not heard any indications that it has, and the numbers that I'm seeing are still up there. So he could be right. He's got different information to what I've got. I'm not seeing it yet. I certainly hope he's correct.
I reckon we take a look at one of those little pieces you've got hiding there, Mike. I was hoping for someone to bring me through some others. I've messaged, but they haven't seen it. So, but you've got at least one golden one there that I think would be cool to show off. And
I do, and a big thanks to Terence for selling this back to us. I'm a retailer. You've got to sell things. I was a little upset when we sold these. We had 6 of them. This was ages ago. We had 6, and this was the only 19. I think this is a 95. I'm trying to read upside down. This is a 95. Tilt it up like that. Are we right? So this is a 10-ounce gold kangaroo from 1995. So a beautiful coin in beautiful condition. And Terence has just sold it back to us. Looks fantastic. And then over the page on the other side, and this is the part I really like. You can see there it has a face value of $1,000. So they don't make these anymore.
We also didn't buy it back for $1,000.
Unfortunately not, but a beautiful coin nonetheless. And we do have it in stock. And I'm on the fence as to whether we put it in for sale because I was upset enough when we sold it last time. I'm really not fully convinced I want to sell it again. But we're a business. We will end up selling it. I know that. But I'm enjoying holding it for a little while. It's a beautiful coin. And if you happen to be in store and we've still got it, we will still have it tomorrow on Saturday. If you're in store and you want to have a look, just ask one of us and we'll dig it out and bring it out of the safe and you can have a look at it. But yeah, a very, very pretty coin. I wish Perth would go back and start producing those 10-ounce gold coins again.
Yeah, absolutely. Someone asking if we're getting the 2026 Somali 1-ounce silver elephant.
I would like to, yes. I haven't seen it come across my desk yet. Not that I can see anything across my desk these days, but I haven't seen it appear yet. But as soon as it does, we will absolutely get hold of it.
Do you happen to know if any of the Australian mints have been making the same design since 1963? Seems like the Forever designs only started post pre-decimal.
I can't think of any designs that are even that old that are still around.
No, that's it. I mean, they're celebrating the kangaroo as 40, kind of thing. And yeah, that.
I think in Australia, the kangaroo would be the oldest continuous, I think.
Yeah, and even that started as kind of the Nugget series and it kind of... handballed into it.
And that wasn't done in silver. The silver one didn't kick off till 2015. Someone's going to correct me here, but I think it's 2015 that one kicked off. So it's only 10 years old in the silver, give or take a little bit.
Yeah, the Krugerrand is probably the...
Krugerrand's absolutely far older. I'm just talking about the Australian production ones at this point.
Has a supplier ever given you the wrong amount, either more or less than you actually ordered?
It has happened, but it's incredibly rare. We're all fairly careful when it comes to that sort of stuff. But, humans are still involved, so accidents will happen.
Do we ever get any product from the Czech Mint?
Unfortunately, we don't yet, but we are absolutely in contact with them. And hopefully, very, very soon, we'll actually have an account with them and we'll start bringing their stuff across because their stuff is next level. I was first time I really got stuck into it was in Oklahoma at the money fair there. What was that, 2 months ago? And hugely impressed. The quality of the product was just right out there. Some of the best.
People are after an update more on the Wonkers, Michael. I think we're over halfway into the stream now.
So we are going to release the Wonkers. I'd suggest Wednesday, but next week. They'll go out as an EOI. I haven't run the numbers yet. I'm hoping to save some of them for people who bought the previous Wonka.
Do not email about it before then. The phone team, I think, and email team are a little bit nervous about that. Given the state of the emails, whatever we do with it will be sorted out when we release the video for it. Nothing beforehand.
Yeah. So, there's no point contacting us or asking us questions because we haven't made final decisions, but we will try and get everything up and running by Wednesday and we'll make it as fair as we possibly can.
Which, it's kind of been a bit of a disaster scenario where you've got something that's a pre-established series, so lots of people are aware of it because of the success of the last one.
Yep.
You've got limited mintage, you've got people all over the world, price gouging, putting up premiums. There really isn't that many of them that we've got. It's just, it is it's a well-known, license. It's not just, a new design or something. It's like, no, this is Willy Wonka we're talking about here. It's kind of, a bit of all these things all piled up at once.
I can't believe, even on a wholesale level, the premium on them has gone up well over 100%. Like that's...
I think I've already heard that we are going to have to be doing this, so I don't think I'm stepping on any toes here, but I think it had gone up so much that we were even thinking of having to charge GST on it because we couldn't argue it was still...
Yeah, I didn't know if... now you've pitched that. I can't remember if it was Bullion or if we were already putting GST on it, but
yeah,
it wouldn't shock me.
It's getting to that stage.
Yeah, look, we're not going to price gouge. We'll certainly release it at as cheaply as we can, the same as we do with everything. But I don't know if it's become that collector's bar. We might get backed into a corner. I'll have to have a closer look at that. Looking forward to doing a video on the ultra high relief there, Metal Inquisitor. That butterfly is amazing, that coin.
So, yeah, I think we might have got a sneak peek at that for those that came to the Perth Mint tour.
And speaking of the Perth Mint tour, what's happened? What's the fate of the Perth Mint chocolate? I believe that Midnight Gardener, he can confirm this, still has them safely stored somewhere where I don't know. So some of them may actually make it to being the big release.
I did see him installing kind of like the nuclear key, where it's going to be two keys at the same time. Both people have to swear that they're not gonna delve into the chocolate.
Yes, well, he's under strict instructions to not let me know where they are, because I can't. They're right up there with the Choc Sultanas. I can't help myself.
Or is that what he was putting into his bag before he left? I don't know.
Better not be. They better be there. But yeah, so we will organise that. What's worrying me about next week is the public holiday, because we're trying to turn 5 or 5.5 days of trading into 4 to 4.5 days trading. And that never works well, never pans out well for us. But hopefully we can also get on top of those chocolate bars, and we can do a good promo and get them out there. We still have the Bullion Now pens. If you want a Bullion Now pen, put a note in your order when you order online, or if you're in store, just come in and say, hey, any chance I can have one of those Bullion Now pens, and we will certainly make them available to you.
Just quickly seeing if I can grab a
Choc Sultanas every time. Sorry, mate.
I'm just seeing if I can grab a photo of the Wonkas there, because I don't think it's one that we've actually gone through and shown off. And I was hoping to have one here, but again, I still haven't had my message read. So I'll quickly throw up a photo for those that maybe hadn't seen it. This is the new design one.
It's the packaging as well that looks...
Yes.
That sets it off. I think they've done a good job with it. I'm really impressed with PAMP. Some of the designs they've brought out recently have been really, really solid, really good.
Yeah, no, top job. And it's clear from both the reaction of the community and also the prices those first ones went to that, people quite like them.
Yeah.
I haven't. There's quite a few where in the world is the Bullion Now bags. I haven't had a chance to arrange them all for a proper show. So I'm hoping one of these streams we'll be able to do a big one of those, assuming that I've got enough time to actually throw it all together. But a bit of an apology to those that have sent those through. Someone was asking before about the email. It's still live at bullionnow.com.au. I just haven't had a chance to throw it all together yet. There was some email questions though. I wanted to see if I can quickly grab those.
I've got a subtle teaser on that one. I've got where in the world is the Bullion Now bag with our newest member of staff.
Okay.
That we've got to show next week.
All right, exciting.
Something slightly different.
Here's one. This is from quite a while ago. Sorry, mate. Why is there always a small difference between the live spot price of gold at the top of your website and the live price of unallocated gold available to purchase? If you could explain this anomaly on your live stream, I'll be watching. You did send that a while ago, so hopefully you're watching this one as well. But yeah, why the difference?
It's just a timing thing. The website calculator that displays the prices in the of the products will be slightly out of sync with the one that runs the ticker tape along the top. It's purely just a timing issue.
Yeah. You answered that faster than I was expecting you to.
That one's a pretty simple one. It's a lot of those things, a lot of those glitches that you see. People say, oh, your price is different to X sites. Yeah, it's just we're getting different feeds and different speeds of feeds. The harder question is usually why is your buyback price different to the ticker tape price? And that's because of with spot price, with any price, whether you're dealing in shares or precious metals, commodities, any of those types of things in an open market, you have the bid price or the buy price, which is what people are willing to pay up to and no more. And then you have the sell price Sorry, I've got this around the wrong way, isn't it? Bid and the ask. The ask price, which is The cheapest price that someone is willing to... Hang on, no, I have got down the wrong way. No, I haven't. The ask price, this is the cheapest price I'm actually willing to sell my product for. And there's always a gap between those two, between what you're willing to pay to buy it and how least you are willing to sell it for. And when those two numbers meet, that's where a transaction takes place. So you'll see our bid price, the price that we'll pay you if you're selling back to us, will be lower than that ask price, which is the lowest price we're willing to sell at, because at the end of the day, we're a business.
There were some questions there about if we're able to get the 2025 Libertad.
I think they may. I think they're rolling at the 2026.
Yeah,
if they're not, it's very, very soon. So the chances are no on that one.
Do you want to take a look at the 1 ounce silver we had hiding there?
Oh, we should. Somebody's just asked about a Fuzzy Bear Muppet coin round in. Yes, I think they actually have a Fuzzy Bear New Zealand Mint coin in at the moment, I believe.
Yes, I'm just seeing if there's still some of those available, because I wasn't sure if the reason they were asking was because they're sold out, which they might be. I can't see them there. I think they might be out.
Really?
I think so.
Bummer. They were there earlier on in the week. If Little Coin Shop guys are watching, let us know. We're going to cut to this latest Germania.
Yep.
I didn't realise that this was replicated on both sides. Did you know that? Oh, there you go. So this is not on our website and won't be until Wednesday. Okay. Rube's taking it off me. So this is one of the latest releases from Germania, and we've got it in the bullion version, but we've also got it in, well, I should say, Little Coin Shop's got the numismatic version, which has got all sorts of gold and something else trim on it, and that looks absolutely stunning. But this is, Rubes, give us a bit of history on it. What is it?
I'm not mic'd.
You're not mic'd, that'd be right. This is Thor's hammer. Yeah, but it's got a name, and I'm bloody if I can remember what it is. Yeah, I'm not even going to pretend to pronounce that one. It's Thor's hammer. And this is a beautiful coin. You can see the detail, and I don't reckon this picture's doing it justice. You've got the detail in the background with the lightning bolts and that sort of stuff. You've got the Germania Mint symbol in the bottom right-hand quote-unquote corner. On one side, you don't have it on the other. And then you've got Thor's hammer with all its beautiful detail there. Beautiful coin. Not the cheapest coin going around. I want to say they're around about $20 over spot, but don't hold me to that. There's something like that, though. I would argue they're certainly worth it, and I'm going to certainly get a couple in my collection. But, yeah, a beautiful coin, a really good production from Germania there, and you'll have to see the Little Coin Shop one, and we will do an unboxing on it. But the gilding that they've done with that one just makes it absolutely pop. Again, they're not cheap. Don't expect them for, kind of the legendary warrior type level pricing. They are dearer. But I would argue, because I'm a coin guy, I would argue they're absolutely worth it. And like I said, the bullion, I can't remember what the numismatic is, and I think the bullion's pitching at about that $20 over spot kind of price range. The numismatic one kind of took me back for a second. I want to say it's somewhere around about $500. I think the numismatic one's 2 ounce, Rubes?
Yeah, they're doing a 2 ounce version, but I think they're also doing the kilos as well.
Oh, yeah. But I think it's somewhere, the 2 ounce, I think, I'm going to be embarrassed whichever way this is, but I think it's pitched at somewhere around about that $500 Australian. So it's certainly a wow. Oh, there you go. Metal Inquisitor's saying it's 600 plus, and it sounds like he knows more than I do.
He's all over the Germania stuff.
Yeah, it wouldn't shock me if it wasn't that price, but it looks, it looks spot on the money.
I wasn't. Someone still hasn't answered my message. I was hoping to have one down here, but I will. I'll show a picture just to kind of give people an idea of the what we're talking about there. The resolution isn't fantastic, but
yeah, look at that. And I would argue it looks better in real life.
Yes.
But yeah, it's just a stunning coin. It really is. So yeah, they've done a spectacular job with it. But yeah, it's gonna hurt. It's gonna hurt my bank account.
It is interesting to see what some of the numismatic premiums are moving to with the increase in spot price as well. I kind of used to mentally calculate at around about $100 an ounce for the numismatic stuff when silver was around that kind of 30 or 40 mark. I kind of went, a numismatic equivalent will be about $100 per ounce.
Yeah.
But that started to shift quite a bit.
Yeah, it certainly has. And look, love this about numismatics, and we talked about this, I think it was last week. Little Coin Shop got, quote unquote, caught out. It's always worth, when prices of bullion jump, it's always worth hunting around the numismatic companies. And I know I'm shooting myself in the foot a little bit here as a bullion company, but it's always worth having a quick scout around the numismatic companies, because they don't tend to work on spot price. They tend to buy it wholesale, sell it retail, and it's a fixed price, and they just go with that. So as we talked about, it was either last week or the week before on live stream, Little Coin Shop was selling 1 ounce Simpson series for less than spot price because spot had moved so quickly. So, though I was a bit crusty about it, the Little Coin Shop team was stoked because they moved a whole stack of stock. But I'm going, mate, selling 1 ounce numismatic coins for less than spot? Come on, give me a break here. So, yeah, interesting stuff though. Alrighty, we have some toys. Are we going to do these? Oh, should we save them for next week? Nah, what the heck? Let's do it. Let's put them out there. So, we have another release. This is from Pamp. Yep. Okay. Good. Just making sure I've got the right company. I'm not upsetting, some distributor that's going to go, "Well, yeah." So these are. I'm going to need a glove, Rubes. I don't want to stick my. I know these are bullion, but I don't want to put my sticky fingerprints all over them.
Yeah, no, definitely don't want to.
Even the tube is cool. Do these come in a monster box, Vic? No. That I'd like to see. They did it in a monster box.
Again, before you show anything on camera, I'm going to also preempt this one with a please do not... We will do something with these next week, but we are not doing any kind of pre-orders until we do a video and a listing for them.
Anyone that emails or phones us is probably going to get left off the... this person can buy this list.
At least the Christmas.
That's right. So this is a new release from... you're going to change cameras for me? So I love the tube, and it's really dumb. This is just a plastic tube. It's a standard tube with a cool sticker over it. This is how much I geek out. It's sad. Just ask my wife. So this is the release from Pamp of the Coke coin. Coin or round? We are about to find out. And it is a round. It's not a coin. So on one side, I don't know if we've got the focus right. You've got the epitome of Coke symbols on there. So the Enjoy Coca-Cola symbol on that side, or slogan. And then on the other side, you've got these three cool Coke bottles. And as Midnight Gardener there, I bet you he's spewing he's not in here. So he's come up with the dad quote, something to quench the silver stacking thirst. So absolutely stunning coin for you Coca-Cola addicts out there.
Round.
Sorry, I did call it a coin. It's a round. And I think it's not the cheapest round out there, but I don't think they were that expensive. I didn't spin out when they told me the price. And then to top it off, you've got this other one. Are we moving back to the other camera?
We can do.
You're pausing like I'm doing the wrong thing.
Yeah,
so.
we're being told maybe not Pamp on these.
Seriously?
No.
Well, they.
No pun meant possibly.
Oh well, Pamp will be upset because I think they've got the trade. They've got the.
Coca-Cola.
We'll find out who's got.
Asterisks here.
Yeah.
Coca-Cola.
So all right. So to the other camera, this is the other one they passed out to us. I'm going the wrong way. So the Pamp bar. I need a drum roll, Rubes.
I haven't got my sound effects set up.
Comes in a package like that, which I think's pretty cool. I don't think I've ever seen them do that before. And then on this side, so this is a 10-ounce bar. I'd like to buy the world a Coke on that side. So one of their many slogans. And then over the page, you've got enjoy Coca-Cola again. So incredibly nice. Very, very hard to get your sticky fingers on, trust me, because we've been trying for a while to actually secure a decent amount of these. And we do have a decent amount, I believe, and I'm looking for indication of Victoria because she actually knows where we're at with numbers on these. We got a decent amount of the 1 ounce, didn't we? She's still telling me no. So all that groveling that I did, we didn't actually get as many as I thought. But the 1 ounce, I know the 10-ounce bars are incredibly limited on the production of those. And then they're available, like we said, in the 1 ounce round. So stand by. They will also be released next week. So all those people that have been keeping their powder dry, I think next week is the week to use it. And those that have been using it, really sorry, but you're going to have to sell a kidney or something and get out there because these things aren't going to last long.
I was going to say it's almost the week next week, by the sounds of it, of the difficult to get because that's it. We've teased the Wonkers, which we're going to be doing that kind of EOI kind of a setup. We think for those. We've got these that are going to be a little bit hard. So there's a few releases coming that are going to be very limited. I think it's something that's been stressing us for a little bit because it's. We do want to get these into the hands of as many people as possible, but at the end of the day, it is the classic problem of there's only so many of them there, and there's more people that are actually after them. But yeah, I think it'll be a bit of a crazy week for us next week. But there is some cool stuff coming. Someone I saw made the comment that they did see these pop up very, very quickly.
Somebody made a mistake and actually let them online for 3 minutes, I think it was.
Yeah, it was very quickly. They didn't have a price, so none could be purchased, but people could visually see them up there. So some people got a little sneak peek.
I think the phone team were a bit upset because apparently the phones lit up like a Christmas tree. And they were battling off all sorts of things. I think I got the blame for that one, and I wasn't even around. I think I was up in Queensland for that one. That was a bit of excitement during the week.
Just to give people a little bit of an idea, are we thinking of doing an EOI for those as well, or is it going to be a bit more of a classic? We drop the video and this is when they. I don't.
The 10-ounce bar is particularly the one that concerns me because we're getting more in. We think, but the whole delivery of them this time was 15, which just blows my socks off that they would bother sending us 15 because that's ridiculous. We have ordered far more. We are trying to reach out now and make sure that actually the rest of the order is on the production line and will be arriving in the not too distant future. But if we get stuck with 15, I tell you what, I'm immigrating to another country because I'll get lynched. So. Yeah, we'll see what happens with those ones. I'll have more news for it next week. I want to stick an asterisk next to this, though. This assumes that I get through all 818 emails. If I'm still battling those next week, we may not actually get everything out that we want, but we're trying to.
Yeah, I think it's good to put an asterisk in there or a lot of this kind of stuff at the moment. But we do still want to get this stuff out there. We do want to do releases, particularly in the lead up to Christmas. It's Halloween today, but you wouldn't be able to tell looking outside because Melbourne has swapped into Christmas mode already.
Cool.
The classic city decorations have gone up. So
no offense to the Americans that are watching, but I really... I can't
that's
come to terms with Halloween.
That's why I didn't call this a spooky stream or something like that.
Yeah, I just like it's not traditionally it's not been a particularly Australian thing, but we seem to be. Again, I'm not trying to upset the American movement here, but it seems to be marketed to us now by some big businesses, and it makes me uncomfortable. I don't like it. Having said that, I have to race off after this because my grandson is participating in some Halloween stuff. So. You kind of go with the flow with family, but a little disappointed with that. As a kid, we used to have Guy Fawkes Night, which I thought was great because he's the only person who's ever entered Parliament with honourable intent.
Remember the 5th of November.
Yes. So I would far rather we went back to that, which was more a traditional thing. I guess it's because of my British heritage more than anything else. Yeah, good old Guy Fawkes night was always a good one to hang out for. But that seems to have gone by the wayside in Australia now to be replaced by Halloween.
And the AFL footy public holiday.
Oh, well, don't get me started on the AFL public holiday. That's everyone loves a day off, but come on, seriously.
Someone must have missed when we talked about it before. Are we getting in any more of the latest Legendary Warriors?
Pass. I actually don't know if there's any more available. We'll be getting more of the series because there's still. What are we up to, Rubes? Number 12 of 15 or something?
15,
yeah, so we'll get more of the other three. Whether we can get the other editions, that's I can't answer that one off the top of my head. If they come available, we'll absolutely bring them in.
Can you talk about the Packy store and how it works, Pakenham, and not to expect to pick up online orders from Melbourne? So I think this is in reference to how does the process for arranging something for pickup at Pakenham work, and also to let people know to not place an online order and then immediately come through to Melbourne to pick it up.
Okay, so the Pakenham store is by appointment only at this point. You can absolutely pick up your Berwick Law. I probably won't come back to that one. You're correct, but it's an American thing very much these days. They've grabbed. Yeah, it's been commercialised by the Americans, and I don't say that disrespectfully either. So the Pakenham store is not open, generally open at the moment. It is absolutely by appointment only. But having said that, if you make the comment on your invoice or if you phone in and tell the staff, not sure I'd email in at the moment. Normally I'd say if you send us an email, but we can certainly organise for pickup in the Pakenham store down there for you. So that's easily available. The stock that you see listed online is actually out of our Pakenham storage facility. So quite often people will order stuff online and then turn up 10 minutes later in the store and go, I'm here, I've placed this order, I want to pick it up. And if we've got the stock in Melbourne, we'll usually fill it, but particularly for things where there's only one or two available, the chances are they are in Pakenham in storage there, and you have to wait for them to actually be picked and then shipped up to Melbourne for you to pick them up. So when you're ordering online, particularly if you're picking up in store in Melbourne, you're going to have to give us a couple of days to make sure that it comes down here.
I think we need to start looking at end of stream. We are past 4 o'clock here.
Oh, wow. I didn't even notice that.
Well, we were... I'll say we're 10 minutes late to this stream. So
yeah, that was all on me. I couldn't leave the store. I apologise for that.
Someone's saying they're going to have to take out a bank loan for products next month. Sovereigns, no stock. I ordered some on the 7th of October and nothing arrived. Now there's nothing in stock.
We do have them. That's Samar, isn't it? Sammy yes. 1855. The sovereign. I was actually looking at your sovereigns at about 3:30, 4 o'clock this morning.
Normal time to do so.
In the vault, wondering why they are sitting here. So they are definitely still here. I'm not sure why they haven't been picked yet. My suspicion is that you've ordered them with something else, but I may be wrong on that. And it may just be that you've slipped through the cracks and fallen down, and I've got to go and prompt for that one to be picked. But if you've ordered some sovs with, a kilo Perth Mint Silver Bar at the moment, or something that we don't, that's on pre-order, you'll find that they won't have been picked at this point. Yeah.
Does Little Coin Shop do procurement if you're looking for something in particular? It's more likely to than Bullion Now, I think.
Yeah, look, I'm going to answer with no right now, but stand by for next year, and hopefully we're bringing something in that will allow that.
I think we need to finish off with some rapid-fire questions.
Oh, we are going to do rapid-fire, are we? I wasn't sure if you were just pulling the pin now.
No. Let's do rapid fire. I said that before, where I skipped over a few. So if there's a question we haven't answered, we'll endeavour to hit as many as we can, as fast as we can, and finish off the stream so that we make sure we hit everything. So yeah, if we haven't answered your question, put it through now. We'll go rapid fire and try and hit as many off as we can.
We will.
Can you say which Scottsdale Christmas bars and coins are coming into Bullion Now? I said before that we'd placed our order. Can we say which ones we're getting?
No. I've got the photos somewhere. One's got a Christmas tree on it. One's got Santa Claus on it. That's about as far as I'm going to go at the moment. One's called Santa's Workshop.
Yeah, there's a snowflake one as well. We tried to get a bit of a variety. Stand
by. We'll release them in the not too distant future. They look cool.
Gold Buffaloes anytime soon.
Yes.
Pakenham's now my local store, and Sylvia has been a real diamond.
Good.
Do you think the Perth Mint will ever release a silver platypus coin?
I'm certainly not going to make comment on that right at the moment.
Silver or platinum?
Platinum.
How much notice do you need before making an appointment, and is calling or email better?
Right at the moment, calling is, and I know Sylvia and Sean are just getting angry faces at me right now, but emails, like I said, we're just too far behind, so it's better if you make a call.
It can still be a battle to get through sometimes, just as a heads up.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
As far as how far ahead you have to book, look, the more warning we have, the more chance you've got of getting the slot that you want. If you're going into Pakenham, you need to give them a day or two's warning so they can make sure everything's organised and they can fit you in, because they've only got a certain amount of slots there. So, it's quite likely if you're saying, I need to come in this afternoon or tomorrow, they're going to say, look, really sorry, you're going to have to, give us a couple of days warning. The Melbourne store, we have a blanket policy that thou shall not make an appointment within an hour, because we have people that roll in, see the queue, make a phone call and say, I'm at the head of the queue. And it's like, that's not what it's designed for. You can't do that. We're happy for you to book ahead for an appointment time, but not roll in and try and jump the queue by being clever. So there's at least an hour delay on making an appointment if you're making an appointment in Melbourne.
I saw this one asked a couple of times. Coffee day for customers on a Friday.
I don't even know what that is. I don't drink coffee. So what's a coffee day?
Us to, do shout coffees in the shop for the day or something similar.
I'm not against the idea.
No,
I'm certainly not doing it at the moment.
I was going to say, now that's all we're going to get asked about.
I'd rather a hot chocolate day.
Yeah, mintage of the Coca-Cola rounds.
I don't have a clue. I'd have to look it up.
We're already sponsoring Friday. Someone's asking if we're interested in sponsoring the National Party in next year's state election.
I don't even know if you're allowed to sponsor. You're allowed to make donations.
Even though we sometimes, copy over into the topic, we do try and steer fairly clear of politics on this channel. So I'd probably lean towards no. Can you please help to bring the spot price down?
It's funny in store because you'll have half the people complaining like mad that spot's down, and you'll have the other half that is super stoked that the price is down, and vice versa.
Any new 2-ounce Royal Canadian Mint silver coming in?
Yes.
Any update on the Hobart Mint?
No. And funnily enough, we've been so hectic, I'd forgotten all about the fact that I promised to go down there. I think it was 15th of September. I was trying to get around about then. We're now knocking on the door of November, and I haven't got down there. So, my apologies to everyone involved on that one.
We're at the bottom of the list.
Hey, that was quick.
It's our efficiency,
Oh, mate, love it. Are there hazelnut flavoured Perth mint chocolates? Not that I'm aware of.
But not something they've delved into yet. Just the milk. Why would you want anything different? It's perfect the way it is.
We don't tend to bring in the Gold Eagles because they incur GST. We bring in small batches every so often, but the Gold Eagles, unfortunately, the American Gold Eagles anyway, incur GST. Everyone looks like they're starting to wrap up. So,
it's because I said we were done.
Well done. Fair enough. So, look, a big call out to a member of our Bullion Now, a couple of members of our Bullion Now family. I was up in Queensland this week to catch up with them, and they both need a very big hug at the moment. So, a big shout out to Andrew and Kath there. They've been long-time supporters of us. And supporters of me. Andrew is an ex-financial planner, a very good one, and his beautiful wife.
They were in chat before. I'm not sure if they still are.
Yeah, they've had a tough week. In fact, they've had a tough couple of weeks. So a big shout out to those two. Andrew's been a very good listening post to me and gives me good advice at different times. So my heart does go out to them at the moment. So thank you for your friendship. And look, a big shout out generally to the Bullion Now family. It just amazes me. And I did say this last week and I teared up a little bit, just how good the Bullion Now family's been over these last few weeks and months, where we've absolutely been under the pressure and we've not been able to provide the level of service that we traditionally like to provide. So thank you for that understanding. And hopefully we're getting back on board again. And there's a few surprises and interesting things coming through now that hopefully we've got a bit of capacity to actually start putting out there. So on that note, we will start to wrap up. I hope everyone has a really good weekend. Remember, if you're dealing with any of us Victorians, most of us have Tuesday off as a public holiday. So the shop will be closed, the phones will be shut down. I'll still be beavering away on the emails, I have no doubt. But most everything else will be shut down. So no, every time we have a public holiday and every time we have a public holiday, I get a whole stack of emails and phone messages saying, oh, Bullion Now's closed. They must have shut up shop and disappeared. It's like, no, actually, we've just taken the public holiday off, guys. Relax. It's okay. We're just taking the public holiday off. We will be open on the Monday. We will be open the rest of the days, but we're just having the Tuesday off as a rule, as most Victorians will be. And the rest of the country, please enjoy that race that stops the nation.
Thanks so much for joining us. We will be here same time next week. And as Michael said, hopefully a few exciting releases coming out next week if we can get ourselves organised. And maybe keep an eye out on the ABC 7:30 report at some stage next week. Michael may make an appearance. We'll wait and see. Who knows?
Yes.
But yeah, we will see you next week.
The Great Southern Land will be out in the not too distant future. See you next week.
See ya.
Bye.